Hi everyone, welcome once again to Ruby's Classic Cooking. Today I'm making calzones. Now these are like my version of pizza pockets. There's kind of a story that goes along with that, because when we used to live in a very small village, there was one pizza place and they were run by a Lebanese family. Now they made really great pizza, don't get me wrong, they made fabulous pizza. And they used to make these things for the kids at school and they called them panzerotti. Now, then I looked up panzerotti, and it's like, okay, you know what? I think those were actually calzones that they were making. But they're kind of like my version of pizza pockets. So, in order to make them, first of all, I need pizza dough. So today, with my bread machine here, I'm going to make pizza dough. So let's get started with my bread machine recipe, and then I'll come back in 2 hours and we'll have the fun part. Now, you don't have to do this part at all, and if you don't own a bread machine, they do sell pizza dough at the grocery store. So you could just go out and get yourself a package of pizza dough. But I like using my bread machine, so we'll start this with part one. And if you want to just buy some pizza dough, then hey, come on back here and watch part two. Okay? Here we go. Now, I've got near beer here. It says to use a cup of beer. But you know what? Near beer works when you're cooking. It doesn't have alcohol, it's de-alcoholized, but you know what, that's going to burn off when you cook anyway. And near beer is cheaper. You get the same kind of flavor profile from near beer as you do from real beer, but at a fraction of the cost. But the heck, it does the job. It gives you the bubbles that you need, right? So that's 1 cup of near beer, or beer if you want to be extravagant. And on top of that, I'm putting in 1 tablespoon of shortening. And don't worry, metric people, I'll be putting the metric equivalents in my recipe and when I put it in my description box down below. Also, you probably want to follow the recipe for your bread machine for this for pizza dough. All right, now there's a tablespoon of sugar. Now, if you think I usually do this, put my sugar in a little bowl like this to measure it into something, I don't. I only do it when I'm filming. When you're at home, just straight into the bread machine bucket. It works just perfectly. And now on top of that, I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of salt. Here we go. And now I'm going to put in 2 2/3 cups of flour. Now here in Canada, I'm going to be using all-purpose flour. And if in the United States, it would be bread machine flour or bread flour, strong flour in the UK. 1.25 teaspoons of yeast, but I always like to add a little more yeast to this. So I'll probably put about 2 teaspoons of yeast in there. Never hurts. And now this goes into my bread machine. I'm going to set this on pastry dough setting, and I'll be back in 2 hours. Meantime, I'm going to go do whatever I want to for 2 hours to get my pizza dough out of here. And then I'll be back. And we'll go for the fun stuff, which is putting on the toppings. Creating those delicious calzones and eating them. Hi everybody, I'm back again, and here's my pizza dough all ready to go. I'm going to do something I wouldn't normally do if I was just doing this for family. Since I'm doing this for you, I'm going to weigh my pizza dough. And then I'm going to divide and see how many, 730 grams. Okay, well I have 7 that I'm going to make. Each one of these weighs about 100 grams, which, let's see, how much is that in ounces? Let's see. Now I'm supposed to roll each one of these into a circle that's 6 inches around. Roll each one into a 6-inch or a 15-centimeter circle. Just so you get the idea what I'm doing here. This is where it gets fun, because now you get to fill your pizza pockets with whatever you want. Personally today I'm going to put some mozzarella cheese, some pepperoni, and some pizza sauce in here. Now, you can use whatever you like. You could do ham and pineapple if you want to go Hawaiian, which is actually a Canadian invention. Pineapple and ham in a pizza, apparently. People in Hawaii just look at you like you are totally out of your mind. Because a Canadian invented it. Or you can put pepperoni, you can put salami, you can put bacon, Italian sausage, basil, any kind of, whatever kind of cheese you like that's nice and melty. Personally, I like the traditional mozzarella. That's as close to a circle as I'm going to get. I'm going to open up my can of, you can also buy bottles of pizza sauce or however it comes in your neighborhood. You know you get it from the pizzeria. It's all thin circles of almost see-through pepperoni. Same with the salami. Or the hamburgers in little pieces, all warmed up to 400, preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 205 degrees Celsius. Now I have my ingredients all handy and ready here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a tablespoon of this sauce and I'm going to spread it all over here. You don't want it to be too thick a layer. You know they do it at the pizzeria. And you want to leave a space around the edge. Okay. About an inch around the edge, which is what that is. Then I'm going to put some pepperoni in here. So my little pepperoni circles. And I'm going to then put some a nice handful of mozzarella over the top here. Here we go. And I'm going to fold this over, fold it in half, and I'm going to firmly press these together to seal it. It's very important that you seal it tightly so that the sauce stays inside and everything else stays inside, and if it doesn't, well, it gets a little messy. I'm going to put this on my cookie sheet. There you go. There we go. First one on the tray. I'm going to bake my calzones or panzerottis, whatever my custom pizza pockets might be called in your neighborhood. I'm going to bake them in my preheated 400 degree oven for 25 to 30 minutes. Then I'm going to let them sit for 10 minutes to cool off so you don't burn yourself trying to eat them. So I'm going to carry on and do the other 6 of these, and I'll be back when they're all cooked and ready to eat. And here are my calzones. Here they are, my panzerottis or calzones, whichever the proper term is. Are all fresh and hot from the oven. As you can see, I got a little carried away with the filling, and so next time probably go a little easier on the cheese and a little heavier on the pizza dough for each one. Well, I hope you enjoyed my video today. And just remember, it doesn't have to be perfect to feed your family and to be delicious. I hope you enjoyed my video today. I hope you'll like, subscribe, give this recipe a try at home. Watch some of my other 140 videos, some of which are more perfect than these. And come on back and watch me next time on Ruby's Classic Cooking. Bye for now.